Well, hello everybody. It's been a while since you heard from Daddy Kozman, cause he was busy. But here is something I do every now and then in exchange for a small donation on Buy Me a Coffee or a membership on patreon.com. The links are below. I sometimes come out of my hidey hole and answer people's questions. Such was the case with Joshua Bellew this week, and he approached me for a few questions about All Tomorrows and my creative process for his upcoming homework assignment, I believe. And he paid up, and here I am answering. And thank you once again to Joshua. Now, some of these questions can be redundant because other people have asked them to me before, but here we go anyways. Number 1. Where did you get your inspiration for All Tomorrows? The answer to that is simple. First was the fantastic alien art of Wayne Douglas Barlow, compounded with books by Dougal Dixon about future evolution. These are, of course, After Man and Man After Man. And then also about the tone of the book, I was inspired by Edward Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, and also by Olaf Stapledon's incredible book, Last and First Man. Look all of these up. Last and First Man is, I think, one of the, if not the best work of speculative evolution ever, despite not having any pictures. And Edward Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire is a great work of history. Whether you're interested in Roman history or not, I think anyone interested in creating a narrative should read it because, that man can use the English language like a rapier. Take this passage as an example. It's just one simple sentence about the settlement of Christianity. Here goes. The earth had submitted to the Nicene Synod. The Romans, the barbarians, and the inhabitants of Spain unanimously professed the same Orthodox creed, and the Visigoths resisted, almost alone, to the consent of the Christian world. In this passage, Gibbon is talking about the Council of Nicaea and the establishment of doctrinal Christianity and how it was resisted only by the Visigoths. What he's talking about really doesn't matter, but just look at the pacing of his words. He even thinks about how the words themselves sound, and it's just such a huge inspiration. Of course, the way I wrote All Tomorrows is a paltry imitation, but that was my source of inspiration. Suffice that to say. Number 2 says, what books have inspired you? Well, I've been answering this question, I believe. Read a lot of history books and non-fiction books if you want to be good at writing fiction. That's all I'll say on the matter. What movies have inspired you? For All Tomorrows, almost none, but I think throughout the time I wrote it, I had the original Star Wars series in my mind. Now, to me, Star Wars is not about space battles and lightsaber duels, but it is about a weird universe with strange creatures hiding in every corner, lots of mottled background characters with individual stories, and a deep extended universe that was, until the Disney purchase, one of the greatest single-part fictional universes ever. So that was one inspiration. Other movies that inspired me, not necessarily about All Tomorrows, but if you're into body horror, you have to watch almost everything directed by David Cronenberg. Especially his early movies are great. Things like Naked Lunch present a dreamlike, chaotic universe of not just weird human body distortions, but all sorts of unusual creatures and extraordinary details. Another director to be interested in would be John Carpenter, with his sci-fi epics such as The Thing, as well as his more schlocky and weird, lesser-known horror movies. I think these two directors really help you get a good grip on tasteful storytelling. So those are some recommendations I can give you. Anyways, another question from Joshua. He says, what was your initial reaction when your book started gaining popularity? Well, I think I've told you this before, but I was writing a lot of other books before All Tomorrows became this popular. For almost a decade before All Tomorrows' spike in popularity in 2021, I was working with an established history publisher and writing really in-depth research books and illustrated visual history books about Turkish history, the history of Sephardic people in Turkey, and also even things like Istanbul's urban details and vernacular architecture. So All Tomorrows was a languishing initial old project which I had almost forgotten about. There would be people coming out of the woodwork every 6 months or something saying this is great, but there was certainly no torrent of interest like there was later. And I think I remember how it happened. It happened in the summer of 2021, and I just think the audience for All Tomorrows was not ready yet when I first published it in 2006. A whole generation had to be literally created and grow up around the book. And then I think the overall atmosphere of doom and uncertainty in COVID helped it gain some traction in people's mental landscapes. And then one last question. This is a really cute one. He's asking me, what is your favorite animal? If you've been following this channel, I got a lot of different videos about a lot of my favorite animal groups, such as arachnids, sea snakes, frogs, amphibians, and the like. So it always changes every day. Like the way you wake up with a different song in your head every morning, I wake up with a different favorite animal in my mind every morning. And today I'm feeling like Lialis burtonis, which is a form of flap-footed lizard, that's just to say a snake-mimicking lizard, actually a descendant of geckos that lives in Australia. What's really cool about this customer is that Lialis burtonis has jaws that look almost like a bird, but a body like a snake and a face like a gecko. So it's like an ultimate lizard creature for me. So today's favorite animal is that one, Burton's legless lizard. Go look it up, everyone. Anyways, that's that. Here's a quick catch up with all you guys and gals following my channel. I hope you're doing well in these times. I'm busy, but I'm doing great. And thank you to Joshua once again for these really sweet and inspiring questions. If you want your questions answered in the same way, you can just go subscribe to me on Patreon and look for the open question time post there, which has been accumulating people's questions since mid-2023. I really need to go back there and answer them all, and one of these days I will. Or you can email me directly, and then I'll guide you through the, payment process and how to answer. And that's that. Bish bash bosh, everyone. Hope you have a good day or night wherever you are. And as always, I love you all.